that. But when it comes to actually living alone, waking up alone, going to bed alone, and just doing life by yourself, being solo, that is a frightening aspect for me. And I just want to, by the end of 2023, get to a point where I can feel at peace and I can feel content being on my own. And there are moments throughout the day where I do feel that excitement and I do feel this just exhilaration of this new phase in my life. But there are also really, really hard moments where I get really sad and I don't always look at the positive side because I'm human. And I think it's normal during this time of my life to kind of go through the ups and downs. Hello everyone, what's up? And welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Icie and I'm so happy to have you here. So this is actually the third time that I am filming this video, which is kind of frustrating because each time I have sat down and tried to film this video, there has been some technical issues. The first time my camera wasn't aligned, and then the second time I filmed this, it was raining and you could hear a lot of background noise and static in the background. So I'm just hoping that third time is the charm and that I can actually use this footage. So fingers crossed that everything goes well. But I did want to take a moment first to say Happy New Year's. I hope you guys had a wonderful and safe holiday. I just hope that you had a very nice and relaxing holiday weekend. I hope your New Year's was also really fun as well. Personally for me, I have just been spending a lot of time with family. I have been reflecting a lot and I kind of had a pretty chill New Year's Eve actually. I tried to film this video on New Year's Eve and it was pouring, and so that's why I couldn't use that footage in the end just because there was so much noise. But anyway, I do have a few things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. This is kind of like a little bit of a life update, but not really. I'm just gonna be speaking really candidly about what's been on my heart because I do have some news to share that I have been processing behind the scenes and I have not talked about it openly, at least on my channel. And then I also want to talk to you guys about the relaunch officially of my new blog, Sincerely Icie. I'm really excited to be talking to you guys about my blog. If you have been following me for a while, then some of you may know that I actually got my start in content creating and that kind of realm with my blog. I had a blog in college and then I gradually kind of moved away from it as I started YouTube, but because I have been going through a lot of changes in my life, a lot of personal things, I have found myself gravitating towards back to writing, hoping that this blog can really become an extension of my YouTube channel. But with that said, let's just jump into this video. I'm gonna speak very candidly about what's been going on and also kind of why it's been harder for me to film and upload a little bit more consistently. So we're gonna get really vulnerable in this video. I think this might be one of my most vulnerable videos because I talk a lot about heavier topics like anxiety and depression, but I don't really tell you guys specifically what's going on in my life. But I think in this scenario, I do feel like it's worth at least mentioning it. To kind of begin, I do have to let you guys know that recently I went through a breakup. My ex-partner and I decided to split ways, and I just want to say right off the bat that it was an amicable breakup, and I'm very fortunate that it wasn't anything like this big blow up. I mean, obviously there are a lot of hard emotions on both our sides and we've both been processing it and dealing with it in our own ways, but that is primarily why it's been harder for me to film and sit down, just because I have been dealing with that behind the scenes. And it was actually really hard for me to film these past few videos knowing that this was happening, just because around the time that I had filmed, I think it was my life and career update when I got the new job as a resource manager, that was around the time that my ex-partner and I decided that we were gonna go our separate ways. And so I was dealing with a lot of change, both professionally, and then I was also dealing with this change in my personal life, and we were trying to figure out the logistics of it, like who was going to be moving out and all of those things. And so dealing with all of that, it kind of put me in this state of mind of busyness and not really having time to process what was going on. And then finally, once I settled into my new job and once I was able to be alone with my thoughts, it was really scary and it was frightening, because I realized that not only am I entering a new job professionally, but I'm also having to, in a way, mourn this relationship and this absence of a person. And I don't really want to talk about specifically why we broke up. I think out of respect for him and our privacy, I don't think that's anyone's business, but I think down the line, eventually I will open more about what that process has been and what it's been like for me emotionally and how I'm dealing with it, because there's quite a bit. In fact, before this video, I was filming a little bit of a weekly vlog where I kind of show my new normal and like my new reality. And I talk a lot about those hard emotions that come with being single and being completely alone, because this is the first time in, I guess, a while, or what feels like, since I've never had to be completely on my own. I've always been with family, and then the past 3.5 years, I've been with this person who's been with me through all of the major milestones, like in my formative adult years. So it's really hard to get used to that change. And I would say right now I have good days and I have bad days. Like right now I'm able to film this video and be on camera and talk about it from this more logical mindset, but there are moments where it does feel really overwhelming and I just get overwhelmed with anxiety. In fact, you guys are gonna see more of that in this week's vlog. I open a lot about that and I show you what it's like for me whenever I have an anxiety attack. And so that's been the major thing going on behind the scenes, getting used to being on my own and just enjoying my own company. Because I think as much as I thought that I was independent financially, I think I've gotten to a point where I'm self-sufficient, but when it comes to my emotions and emotional security, that is an area in my life that I didn't realize I depended so much on a specific person or specific people to make me feel better. And so that's definitely something in the new year that I want to be better at. I want to be better at just being able to enjoy my own company and being able to not need someone to make me feel happy, because I think I'm really good at doing things on my own, like going out for a date with myself or going on, a walk on the beach, doing things like that. But when it comes to actually living alone, waking up alone, going to bed alone, and just doing life by yourself, being solo, that is a frightening aspect for me. And I just want to, by the end of 2023, get to a point where I can feel at peace and I can feel content being on my own. And there are moments throughout the day where I do feel that excitement and I do feel this just exhilaration of this new phase in my life. But there are also really, really hard moments where I get really sad and I don't always look at the positive side because I'm human. And I think it's normal during this time of my life to kind of go through the ups and downs. And I've really been leaning on my family a lot. My family has been amazing, supporting me and just leaning on my support system. I think this time in my life has really taught me that you don't have to go through things alone. Like, life is hard in itself, but having a few close people that you can trust with your heart and be vulnerable with and just be like, hey, I'm not okay, and just be completely honest with where you're at emotionally and not fear being judged or being looked down upon, I think is so crucial toward healing productively. And so that's been something that I have been forced to do a lot more, because I think before this breakup, I was so used to closing myself off and trying to do things on my own. But this time in my life has taught me that I need to lean on my support system. You know, that's what they're there for. And it's okay. And I'm hoping also in the new year, as far as my content, I want to show you guys, and also kind of for myself to get out there as well. I'm doing it for other people to help people who are in a similar position, but also for myself to kind of push myself out of my comfort zone and find the small joys of being alone and being single, because I think it's really easy to feel like you are lacking something in life, or that you feel like some people are more ahead in your life, whether they're getting engaged or they're starting their families. You know, your 20s are such an interesting time because everyone is doing things at their own pace, and then when you look online and you look on social media, it's easy to feel behind or feel like you are in a state of lacking. And I really want to cultivate this mindset of I am enough just the way I am, and I don't have to follow a specific timeline. And that's way easier said than done, because I mean, just yesterday I had a full-blown anxiety attack, and I had to call my parents and to have them walk me through that, or just kind of get me out of that mindset. And so each day I feel like I get a little bit better, or at least I'm trying to tell myself that. But it is hard. It's been hard. Not gonna sugarcoat anything that it's been easy, because it's been really, really hard for me to film and to get back into things. But I do find that staying busy and finding projects and leaning into my creativity has been such a therapeutic thing for me, which is why I am really excited to officially announce the relaunch of my blog, Sincerely Icie. So like I mentioned before, I had a blog in college, and then over time I just kind of steered away from it just because of school and my job, and I felt like I didn't want my content to be repetitive when I started my YouTube channel. But now I have decided that I do want to get back into it, and I actually did post 3 blog posts on there already. So if you want to check it out, I will leave the link down below to my blog post. It's just on WordPress, and then if you want, you can feel free to follow it. I will be updating my social media, specifically my Instagram, on new updates. So if you are interested in that, then I would really appreciate if you guys can go support it and follow it, because I have a lot of ideas where I want to share more of my creative writing pieces, like poetry, and maybe like an itinerary of my favorite spots in San Diego. So it's really meant to be an extension of my personality and just another outlet for me to connect with you guys, and I'm really excited for that. Those are the main things that I wanted to talk to you guys about in this video. As far as new content in the new year, I do have some really exciting videos planned. A lot of them are centered around embracing single life and just kind of embracing this new phase in my life. I've already started revamping my apartment now that I have more space, and so you guys will be seeing in my vlogs some apartment decor and like DIY apartment projects. I'm really excited to share that. And you know, right now I think there's so much change that the one thing that has been kind of keeping me going is just, I would say, the possibility of, you know, newness and just the possibility of what life has to offer. So I'm trying to get excited about small things like being able to decorate my apartment the exact way that I want, you know, being excited about meeting new friends and pushing myself out of my comfort zone, and just trying to switch my mindset into a more positive way. And it's way easier said than done. I will say that there's good days and there's bad days, and it's just been a roller coaster of emotions. And it's interesting how one aspect of your life can be going really well, and then another aspect of your life can kind of be going into shambles, or at least it can feel that way. So I'm slowly finding and picking myself up again, and I do want to get more consistent with YouTube. So I do plan on filming a work week in my life, like a hybrid week in my life, and going back to the content that you guys like, but you best believe that there's also going to be a lot more vulnerable chats like this one, especially during this time in my life. And you guys are gonna see all of it. You guys are gonna see the highs and the lows of being on my own. You guys are gonna see the good parts, the ugly, the messy, everything in between. I already have a vlog where you kind of really see where my state of mind is at, and it's a little bit scary to put that out there, but I feel like I want someone to feel a little bit less alone when they watch my content, or feel like if they are also feeling alone, or if they're also going through a breakup or heartbreak or whatever significant change is going on in their life, I want them to feel like, you know, someone else understands what it's like and we can all grow and learn together. So I think that is it for this video. I'm gonna try and edit this. Hopefully this footage is all right. I am like praying to the YouTube gods that this video is clear and there's no more issues, because I really want to get this video up and also start editing a few different pieces of footage that I have been filming over the weekend. And with that said, I will see you guys very soon in another vlog. Hopefully that will be up for you guys this week. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to follow my journey, and I will see you guys in the new year. Bye.